As an iron worker, you're going to work on bridges, you're going to be building structures, building foundations, you're going to be welding, you're going to be up in the sky with the birds, seeing beautiful views. Iron worker is a different type of guy. You know, you have to have it, you have to be on your game at all times.
It can include anything from like the Cleveland Cliffs project, that's a pretty visible structure, to the Huntington Center. Ornamental would be almost the artsy side, if you will, if you look at the Toledo Hospital and the glass work. At the Generations of Care project, that's more towards the ornamental. And then the reinforcing, of course, if you drive across any bridge in the city of Toledo here in 2020, you'll see all kinds of rebar getting placed to make that concrete rigid and strong.
Actually doing work, like looking at it in a book versus doing it in the field, the technical side of everything is pretty challenging.
So to get into our apprenticeship, you have to graduate. You can have your high school diploma and or GED and a valid driver's license. You have to take an aptitude test, differential aptitude test, and test into the program. That test, differential aptitude test, very math heavy, trigonometry, some geometry. And then the other components are mechanical reasoning, spatial awareness. You know, we look at a two-dimensional set of blueprints per se, and we're putting together a three-dimensional real-world building structure, whatever, and some abstract reasoning.
It gives you a step-by-step approach to your thought process, putting up structural steel and tying rebar. You actually have to plan things out.
You got to take and follow orders, okay? Just like he's in the military, but not so strict. But a guy that wants to work in all kinds of elements. You know, we're not talking about a thunderstorm or a snow blizzard, but you know, the weather is not always in our favor.
As myself being a foreman and journeyman, the apprentices that are coming up, we are teaching them. So we do see the way they take strides in, you know, what level they're working at and getting trained at. And you can see the work and you take pride over that. So, I mean, you can definitely see progress in all the steps they take.
It's neat to see somebody who comes in green, per se, and then mature throughout the program, throughout the process. And it's not just elevating in the craft, it's elevating as a man or a woman.
Out in the field, I work with a lot of people who haven't been around my environment. I learn a lot of different personalities, a lot of different ethics, I guess, the way people think. I liked our instructor down here. I actually think his teaching method was important. It's actually made me a better iron worker. He actually gave me a little bit of self-confidence. Like, hey, Don, man, you're doing great, and these guys look up to you, man, and you can set a standard, like, you know, so he's talked to me a lot about finances. Hey, man, you can't be that iron worker with a $200,000 house and, you know, barely scraping by. He's told me stuff that I actually took heed to.
It was really hard to just make that commitment to leave what I thought was really good to actually go to something that was so much better.
I was working a $10 an hour job. I had one kid and another on the way. I had to do something, and someone told me about iron workers. I said I was pretty handy. I came in and it's worked. Like, the guys respect me. I can do my work. It's satisfaction.
I mean, she gets to be home. I'm home every night. I don't have to travel if I don't want to, but I can if I want to. It's just a great opportunity. It's been great for me, for sure.
To do iron work, you can step back at the end of the day and say, look what I helped build.
You know, there should be a monument to iron workers. You know, just a monument to iron workers here in town. I said, there are. Look at all the buildings, look at the bridges. Your father, our grandfathers, we all built those. Those are our monuments.
To be able to see what I've done out in the field, it gives certainly a sense of pride because the projects that we work on are here to stay. You know, after I'm gone from the earth and on to the by and by, my children and hopefully my grandchildren can drive by and say, my dad and my grandpa worked on that project. You're building your community, and that's really important that you have an opportunity to do that, to build your community. Building communities, building families, and doing that together is really neat.